3 days, I'm about to do something very hard. A half Ironman. I have not challenged myself this physically in a very long time. And I'm getting nervous, but I'm getting excited. It will be so interesting. So I put in the work. I've been showing up to practice consistently, kind of swimming, biking, and running for the past 6-7 months. I have a big running base because I came from a running background. We'll just see what happens. I really do believe in physical activity. It has been the one thing that actually saved my life, I would say. It gave me so much perspective on what challenge actually is. Because when I push myself, I go through and beyond the edge of discomfort to then almost build a larger area at which I'm capable of. Think of it this way. You have a circle on the ground and you run up to the edge of it. And every time you do that, the circle expands a little bit more. Or inflating a balloon, you blow into it a little bit, and suddenly your realm of capability just increases. And it's so funny because the result of this idea is growth is infinite. You can always do more. You can always push harder. I reflect on my training trajectory, and part of me was like, am I really ready? Because I feel as though I didn't train hard enough. But it's like, you gotta stop yourself there, because you can always do more. What do I want to get out of this experience? Am I trying to crush like sub 5 hour half Ironman or something? Or am I just trying to cross the line feeling like I did a good job? Ultimately, that's the world I want to live in. So while the growth is infinite, I think what you can aspire to achieve is nothing other than a job well done. Hold up, there's an ambulance. That's kind of crazy. We gotta wait a sec. Whoa. Hopefully that's not for me. Jeez. But what I'm just saying is, because the growth is infinite, you have to kind of anchor yourself in just what do you want out of it. Because I noticed along the way of my training and physical activity, I ended up pushing so hard and challenging myself so much that suddenly I had to aspire to these massive physical challenges in order to feel a semblance of what I used to. And it's a slippery slope, because it takes more and more energy and time to get to a point of a physical exertion. And what I realized is, when I pushed so hard in the physical world, I was pushing less in terms of the mental world and even my own. I had no time to sit with myself and question my own beliefs, for instance. And so when you go so far deep into one world, that's kind of a signal that you gotta pull back a little bit, that you got to re-embrace the redistribution and start questioning your own beliefs, start questioning and finding activities that also challenge your mind, because the physical world is not the only thing. notwithstanding, you should aspire to find moments of immense physical challenge, just like you should aspire to find moments of immense mental challenge, moments where you're challenged socially, moments where you're challenged by having to produce a presentation, talk in front of people, maybe get out of your comfort zone and introduce yourself, socialize. Maybe it is pursuing research of a question that you're so interested and fascinated with. Maybe it's reading a book that you love. Maybe it's being creative and, doing your art. These are all mental challenges. A bit different from the mental challenge of pushing hard, of course, but it's just as important. So, yeah, I'm doing a half Ironman, but also I do acknowledge the immense value in the other sides of the world. I don't want my only personality to become triathlons. I would like my personality to be filled with a diverse set of activities that I am passionate about. So it's very interesting because effectively I'm struggling to come up with a way to portray this idea of pushing hard in a kinder manner, because so much of our world, for instance, a lot of social media, at least for like the guide side of social media, it's all about these influencers just talking about, it's all about pushing hard, it's mind over matter. The only thing that exists is you waking up and grinding every day. There's that camp. And it's like, yeah, the grind is good, but there's so much more at the same time. You can grind and then go run back to base camp and then chill. You can go test out your mind in doing art and stuff. It's like, you don't have to just find the value of life in one thing. And I think I notice that is kind of where our world goes to a little bit. It's the extremes. You have to latch on to one single identity, and that's all. You can't be diverse. You can't have multiple interests. You can't, it feels like the world does not let you do things mediocrely, if I would say. Like, in the eyes of the world, you're doing mediocre art because there's these great artists out there. But why do we think in terms of the world? Why can you not just think in terms of your own self? Maybe you do like your art. Maybe it is mediocre when you compare it to the greatest artists in the world. But maybe also you've improved. Maybe also you've seen yourself change your style through time and adopt different approaches. That is cool. That is exciting. That is interesting. It's not just about what you do in comparison to others. So when I speak of like a half Ironman, often I feel like it's met with people can be impressed. They can be like, oh wow, that's crazy. However, what is not discussed well is it's all relative. It's all about what an individual can do compared to what they've done before. You don't just wake up doing the most extreme form of physical exercise. You adapt through a period of time slowly. At the big truck. At the big truck. You adapt to it slowly, just like anything. I don't wake up doing calculus, differential calculus, and partial differential equation. You build. You had to learn what a function was first from high school, and then you go from there. And it's like we get this intuitively, But yet, when we look at huge accomplishment of an individual, we're like, wow, that's amazing. But you fail to realize that they've been spending years upon years developing that skill set. So to them, is it really that incredible? Like, I don't think my half Ironman that I'm about to do this weekend is any more impressive than the first 1 kilometer run that I had before I even started running. To me, those are like equivalent forms of pushing hard and challenging yourself. It is. You cannot dispute that, because it's so easy for me to wake up now and run 1 kilometer, but it's so much harder for me to, I don't know, go rest. I struggle with rest now because I have adopted my brain to just push hard. So I've realized, I took a step back and I realized, okay, so rest is the hard thing to do. So I'm trying to adopt that more into my life, to rebalance what is hard, to expand my brain some more. But this idea of relative difficulty is so important to appreciate, because if you do not appreciate this concept, you will feel like you're just left behind all the time. You will feel like you are nothing. You will feel like people are just inherently better than you. But that's not true. It's relative. Like, a person so deep and enthralled in entrepreneurship has probably cracked at entrepreneurship because they had failed 5 different businesses before. A person that is like really cracked at art has probably been drawing their entire life and you're not even aware of it. So don't beat yourself up if you're not good at something right away. And instead, just compare your improvements to the day-to-day. And if you really want to be good at art, just start. If you really want to do a half Ironman, start. Don't worry about doing the half Ironman right now. Just worry about getting the first couple K in. Spend a year doing it. Spend 5. It does not matter how long you pursue an activity, but if you do it for long enough, you're just going to be inherently better at it. I don't know why you have to even be good in a year. Spread the horizon out longer. Say, I just want to be good at it at some point. So if you write books, if you write anything, give your shot for 5-10 years. You're telling me that if you write for 10 years straight, you're not going to be some semblance of quality? Just not true. Just not true. You will. You'll find your own art. You'll find your own voice. You'll find your own ability to do your own version of a half Ironman. And like, look at me, I'm doing a half Ironman, but you can always point fingers at all these other people higher than you and be like a guy in my club, he has done 8 half Ironmans and 4 full Ironmans. But I don't think he's better than me, because we're all coming at this world from a different standpoint. We all have different things that we can offer, and we're so unique in how we distribute our time. Something I thought about in undergraduate school is this. When I studied, I have a lot of time because I live with my parents. So no wonder I did good on the test, because I stayed up till like 2 a.m. every day, and that my only concern was the test. But there's someone that had limited amount of time. Well, of course they're not going to do 100% on the test, because they had to work a full-time job. They had to go take care of their sick brother or something. So it's a peculiar thing to note, because relatively speaking to themselves, maybe they did a fantastic job and they should be so proud because they had less time, yet they still pulled it with the B+. So be proud of that. But then you diminish your efforts when you compare it to someone else that never had to go through the same stuff you did. So just comparing yourself to others is just inherently brash. It's inherently it just is illogical. It does not make any sense. Do not compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to yourself. If you're definitely trying to be better, if you're trying to improve your character, think about the person you were years ago, not the not comparing yourself to the best philanthropist in the world or something. I don't know. Yeah. Yo, but peace and love. Someone just asked if I was vlogging, and I am, which is kind of fire. But I'm Matthew. I think you should totally live the way in which you are, and just exist with what you have, and just compare yourself to yourself. I'm doing a half Ironman because to me this is the next stepping stone. I've done a marathon, I've done this stuff, and I want to keep pushing, and I want to push in a holistic manner. So I'm Matthew. Peace and love. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.